Now, Earl was a certified nerd. Pocket protector. Thick glasses, owned 3 telescopes. Corrected people's grammar for fun. And every Friday night he'd stare out his window at the Harley crowd across the street. One day he said, "I shall outcool them." Walked into the dealership, confidence high. Salesman nearly choked on his coffee and pie. Said, "Friend, I got a bike that's fit for a king, a legendary machine, the envy of everything. Royal purple paint with metallic chrome shine. Colors changed every time it caught the sunshine. Neon orange leathers with dangling beads. $80 extra for unnecessary needs." Want fuzzy dice? Do serious bikers use fuzzy dice? No, I'll take 2. Then he bolted on a thunder machine, an electric vroom box louder than seen. Twist the throttle, vroom, vroom, everybody would hear, even though the motor was practically silent and weird. Salesman said, "They'll respect you from here to Peru." Earl said, "Excellent, add that too." My Harley made me do it, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. One bad decision and another or two, now I'm riding royal purple in fluorescent shoes. My Harley made me do it, I had a plan till the bike ran through it. When common sense said, "Boy, don't you dare," that Harley whispered, "Right over there." He thundered past the tavern fast, every biker turned to watch him pass. Then circled back and parked with pride, like a peacock entering a cattle drive. Music stops. "Good evening, fellow riders." Silence, long silence. One biker, another biker. "Is that chrome changing colors?" Earl walked up smiling ear to ear, held up his hand with absolutely no fear. Old Red Joe looked him up and down, missing 3 teeth beneath his frown. Soft high five slap, big hand landed on Earl's back, and every biker there began to crack. "Son, where'd you get that jacket? Limited edition." "I believe it." My Harley made me do it, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. All those fellas nearly laughed me blind, but they kinda like my style in time. My Harley made me do it, I had a plan till the bike ran through it. Sometimes life takes a stranger turn, then in and listen, you're gonna learn. Inside the bar, the stories flew about wrecks and roads and things they do. Earl talked planets and quantum stuff. The biker said, "Close enough." One new welding, one new stars, one fixed engines, one fixed hearts. Turns out people ain't all that far apart. "So why'd you come over here anyway?" "I wanted to be cool." Silence. "That might be the dumbest thing I ever heard." Took guts though. They raised their glasses high that night, neon orange glowing bright. And somewhere around drink number 3, Earl became honorary family, not because of chrome or noise or fancy gear, but because he showed up without fear. My Harley made me do it, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Crossed the street and crossed the line, found a bunch of friends I didn't expect to find. My Harley made me do it, funny how life can run right through it. Bought a motorcycle, found a crew, best bad decision I ever rode through. Earl still rides that royal purple Harley. The fuzzy dice are faded, the amplifier still goes vroom! And every Friday night, the bikers save him a seat, because sometimes the coolest thing you can do is show up. Doc Harley strolled up to the bar and took his usual seat. Before he could say a word, Joe stood up, pointed toward him, and shouted across the room, "All right, boys, Doc Harley's office is now open."
The crowd erupted laughing. Doc Harley took note of the humor but pretended to ignore it. A biker from the end of the bar raised his hand. "I think my bike has a heart valve problem, Doc." Doc Harley slowly turned. He explained that motorcycles do not possess hearts. The biker thought about this carefully. Then he asked why his motorcycle had been acting sad all week. The entire bar burst out laughing. Doc Harley paused, then suggested that perhaps the motorcycle simply needed more appreciation. The laughter somehow became louder.
"My Harley made me do it, that's my story and I'm sticking to it."
A second biker leaned forward. He explained that his Harley had developed a cough. Doc Harley suggested it might be an engine issue. The biker immediately asked whether antibiotics would help. Doc Harley said no. The biker asked if just a little antibiotics might help. Doc Harley said no again. Joe announced that a second opinion had been requested. The crowd cheered. Another biker explained that his motorcycle refused to start in the mornings. Doc Harley asked whether the battery had been checked. The biker proudly explained that he had recently bought the motorcycle flowers. A long silence settled over the room. Doc Harley informed him that this had not been the question. The bar nearly came apart laughing.
"My Harley made me do it, that's my story and I'm sticking to it."
A large fellow near the pool table claimed his transmission had anxiety. Doc Harley asked how he arrived at such a diagnosis. The biker explained that the transmission kept changing gears unexpectedly. Doc Harley considered this, then admitted it was not the worst diagnosis he had heard that evening. Joe immediately declared this proof that Doc Harley was a medical professional. The crowd agreed. Another biker complained that his motorcycle pulled to the left. Doc Harley diagnosed an alignment issue. The biker confessed he had feared it was politics. The bar exploded again. Doc Harley announced that he was not qualified to treat either condition. Joe assured everyone that specialists were difficult to find these days.
"My Harley made me do it, that's my story and I'm sticking to it."
A man near the jukebox explained that his wife claimed he never listened. He asked Doc Harley what he should do. Doc Harley stared at him for several seconds, then politely asked him to repeat the question. The room erupted so hard that several drinks nearly spilled. Joe wiped tears from his eyes and declared that to be good medicine. The crowd raised their glasses in agreement. A younger biker then asked how a man could know if his motorcycle loved him. Doc Harley explained that motorcycles were inanimate objects. The biker responded that this had not answered the question. A thoughtful silence followed. Doc Harley finally replied that if the motorcycle started every morning, the relationship was probably healthy. The crowd applauded. As the laughter died down, Joe asked one final question. The room became quiet. Joe wanted to know why Doc Harley had bought that royal purple electric motorcycle in the first place. Doc Harley sat silently for a moment, then admitted he thought it would make him cool. The room grew unexpectedly quiet. Joe asked how that had worked out. Doc Harley looked around the bar, at the bikers, at the laughter, at the friends he never expected to have. Then he shrugged. "I got a bunch of friends instead." For a moment, nobody laughed. Then Joe raised his glass and quietly said, "Best trade anybody ever made." Glasses clinked. The jukebox played. And Doc Harley's office officially closed for the evening.
"My Harley made me do it, that's my story and I'm sticking to it."